Missing someone. With all your missing someone.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today in this video, I'm going to show you my Can You Relate compilation with the shorts that I've made in the past 1 to 2 months, and I hope that you enjoy it.
If you can't relate to this video, I cannot explain how jealous I am. So remember in elementary school when the teacher would leave the room for 3 seconds and the class would all go recess hyper mode? Say, for example, Mr. James had to go talk to the teacher next door. Then, all of a sudden, the class would be running around, paper planes would be thrown around, they'd be screaming, and it would just be hyper. And then, when Mr. James comes back, everyone's teleported back to their seats all of a sudden, and they're goody two-shoes.
I cannot be the only person that relates to this, but whenever you're doing PE outside at school, oh my god, I'm so girly. Sorry. The teacher's like, oh, it's not that cold and it's not that hard. Just run the 17,000 miles. Why don't you run with us, bestie? Come on. Just take off your coat, stand up from that wheelie chair, because I might not know how to do it. So you're the teacher, you're supposed to show us how to do it. So why don't you show me, because somehow I just forgot.
I hate it so much when you're in a classroom and you're just minding your own business and doing the work, you know, and the teacher is walking around the classroom like a lost sheep, comes up right to your face saying, "Can I help you?" Like, no, Mr. Jones! Do you see my hand up? No! And literally he always has that strong coffee breath. And I'm just like, please back off. 6 feet, 6 feet. Also, he just happens to be that one teacher who gives you so much homework saying that you have to give it in before the deadline, when he's there taking months to mark them. Like, make that make sense. I don't get it. How are people so energetic in school at like 8 a.m. in the morning? I would be barely awake, and they'll be there screaming their heads off and laughing at the top of their voices. How? Like, are you not tired?
My opinion, Miraculous is a tiny bit overrated. I mean, sis, don't get me wrong, I ain't no hater, but it's the same in every freaking episode. You know, someone gets angry, then they get acclimatized by Hawkmoth, then Ladybug and Cat Noir come to the rescue and fight a little bit, and then Ladybug uses her, like, lucky charm, and then they win. Then Hawkmoth, at the end of every single episode, is like, I will get you next time, Cat Noir and Ladybug. Just you wait and see. Miss Girl! Well, it better be soon, Hawkmoth. It's been like 100 episodes, and you ain't even been close. Get your game face on. Get your game face on.
Honestly, anytime there are kids around, my phone is in danger. As soon as they see it, they come up to you with their sticky little fingers and say, do you have any games? Like, yeah, I do. But no. Not with those crusty hands. And then they have the audacity to cry. This is my phone, not yours. I can't be the only one where if you go over to a friend's house and you are starving, absolutely starving, but you're too scared to ask for some food because, you know, you feel like rude if you just say, oh, can I just help myself to your fridge and your snacks? But then the mum comes up and asks if you want any food. You're too shy to say yes or no, so you are praying that your friend makes the answer for you and makes the answer yes. But then she says, no, we're not hungry. Excuse me, Vanessa? When did I say I wasn't hungry? Excuse me,
It's so annoying when that one girl always tells everyone that a teacher loves her or thinks that she is their favorite student. Like, no, Jessica. In fact, he sighs and moans when you come up to talk to him. I'm really sorry to tell you, but it is so obvious that Mr. Clock does not like you. Also, she just happens to be that person who thinks everyone is their friend too. But in reality, everyone finds her super annoying. And do you know why, Jessica? It's because you purposefully ask for homework every single time they forget. Maybe stop doing that and you'll make a friend or two.
You know when you're playing Roblox with your friends and they're like, oh, what game do you want to play? And you're like, oh, I don't mind, you pick. And they're like, oh no, I picked last night, you picked tonight. So you just pick a random game, let's use Murder Mystery, for example. And you're like, oh, let's play Murder Mystery. And then your friend's like, I don't like that game. Well, don't tell me to pick the game then. If you don't like the game that I want to play, Don't ask me to pick the game in the first place if you're not gonna play the game I want to play. So then you suggest another game, like, oh, let's play Royal High. I don't like Royal High. No. If you want me to pick the game, you gotta be happy with the things that I tell you. You gotta be happy with the game that I pick. Because if you're just gonna say no to all the games that I pick, what's the point in asking me to pick? Chloe?
Anyone have the weirdest, most vividest memory from elementary? Well, I do, and I hate myself for remembering. There was this one girl. Why is there always this one girl? But she thought having crop tops were cool. By the way, this was in 2nd grade. So yeah, she always showed off her crop top. And she would have like a new set every time we changed. And she would like shout to the class, "Guys, look at my new set, it's so cool." Like, no delight. Oh wait, no, I can't say her name. Let's just call her Vanessa. Like, no Vanessa. Shut up, we do not want to see your crop top.
I know that I cannot be the only one where you're in school and you literally like break your arm or something. Or like your knee is split open. There's literally blood everywhere and you're in so much pain. Like you've literally just broken a bone. So then obviously you're going to go to like the school nurse or medical room or whatever. And all they would say is put a wet paper towel on it. You would just stare at her in disgust. Like, "Miss, I've broken my arm. Are you seriously just going to sit there and watch me hold a stupid wet paper towel on it?" And then they say like, "Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. I'm like trained to do this stuff." Well, you're clearly not, hun. Can you not like call my mum or something at least? Like just do something. Because wet paper towels do not cure anything. They're not made of magic.
Whenever you get angry at someone, just remember to take a breath, count to 10, and then throw a punch at 8. Nobody expects that. Whenever you get angry at someone.
But whenever I order food, I like doing it under a fake name sometimes. And so today I was like, I feel like a David. So I went in and she was like, "What's the name you want to put the order under?" And I was like, "David." And mind you, there were only 2 people in the shop, right? And so it came time for the order and she was like, "Order for David." And I was like, who the heck is David? Why is he not coming up to get his order? And I was like, lol, David's so stupid. And I realized, I'm David.
Times where the teacher's giving a very important lesson and you must pay attention to it, but sometimes it's just so boring to just zone out for like just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Then, after you snap back to reality, everyone is staring at you for no reason. And the teacher is also staring at you, which gives me a hint that I've been just told a question and I also was not paying attention to the lesson whatsoever. So I'm just sitting there embarrassed out of my mind. And the teacher just stares at me waiting for an answer, and that makes everything just 10 times worse. And she doesn't ask me again. And dear teacher, I just want you to know that please do not choose on me when I'm not raising my hand, because you are just gonna make me embarrassed.
I hate it when you've just done finals or any other big exams, and your mom comes up to you and says stuff like, "Yeah, it's absolutely fine if you get a low mark, just as long as you work your hardest." But then, when you do actually get your results back and there are only like 2 B's, your mom is livid. She's furious. She comes up to you, roaring her lungs out, saying, "See, you're always on that phone. That is why you're getting these bad marks." Like, huh? The other day, didn't you literally just say that it's okay, whatever mark I get? And here you are, acting as if I've got all F's and that I deleted your Facebook app.
I cannot be the only person that relates to this, but whenever you're doing PE outside at school, oh my god, I'm so girly. Sorry. The teacher's like, "Oh, it's not that cold and it's not that hard. Just run the 17,000 miles. Why don't you run with us, bestie? Come on, just take off your coat, stand up from that wheelie chair, because I might not know how to do it." So you're the teacher, you're supposed to show us how to do it, so why don't you show me, because somehow I just forgot.
If you can't relate to this video, I cannot explain how jealous I am. So remember in elementary school when the teacher would leave the room for 3 seconds and the class would all go recess hyper mode? Say, for example, Mr. James had to go talk to the teacher next door. Then, all of a sudden, the class would be running around, paper planes would be thrown around, they'd be screaming, and it would just be hyper. And then, when Mr. James comes back, everyone's teleported back to their seats all of a sudden, and they're goody two-shoes.